for people to hear other people's experiences, and whether it applies or not, it's possible. So I just wanted to put it out there for you guys to hear and make that decision. And I get a lot of questions asking about CBD and what it is and how to use it. So this is just going to be, informative and a place where people can go look back to and listen and learn. And also overall, it's something that I'm really passionate in, and I like to talk about it. I like to share about it. So that just is why, I have a business in it. It's not that I'm in it just to make a bunch of money, because I heard, that everyone's making a bunch of money, because that's not how it started at all. Like I said, I started with bath bombs. So quitting your job to sell bath bombs is definitely a risk, I would say. But with hard work and lots of struggling, it all worked out. And now we have like 15 bath bomb scents or more. And in total, there's about 40-ish products listed on my website today. So it's been cool. And honestly, I've met so many great people. I've made friends with customers who have great stories, and, to be that person that gets to help them is priceless. Like, there's no monetary value that you could place on that. I'm just glad I get to be a part of something bigger than myself, something bigger than us. And soon we'll all see that, because right now it's still in its baby stages. The CBD industry is considered an infant right now. And so to be a part of it at its infant stages, it's like watching your nephew or niece or whatever grow up. Like, them from when they're in diapers, and then they grow up and become this awesome person and graduate college and do great things. And so that's kind of how the CBD industry is for me. It's like my child, and I get to watch it grow. So it's rewarding just in that. And if I have to quit tomorrow for any reason, I'm not going to walk away empty-handed ever, because the people's lives that I've changed, I know I've done it. They know that I've done it. And that's honestly, that's enough for me. So yeah, it's really awesome to be helping, and to find your place in the world, because I love kids and I love working with them, but this is definitely more fulfilling in the sense of I'm not just helping kids, I'm helping families of people. I'm helping from the child to the grandparent, because CBD is good for everyone, and so it's covering all bases of what I wanted to be doing. And it's been a roller coaster, owning this business and going through all of the ups and the downs and the wonder. And if I had to choose, what is my biggest obstacle, or what is the hardest part about owning this business, is just the lack of security. Right now, the CBD industry is not regulated, and to some extent, I wish it were, because now we have 100 companies opening a week, roughly, which are a lot of people that just hear from their friends, like, oh, you could just open a CBD business and make a bunch of money real quick. And that is definitely happening a lot. And so, you have poor quality products out on the market, which sucks. When you know that you make something of good quality and you put your heart and soul into it, and you do everything that you can to make sure that every product that leaves is true to its name. And then you hear of these companies who are probably bigger than yours, or could be bigger than yours, making a lot more money than you are, and they're lying to everybody. I mean, it's soul crushing. So I wish that there were regulations and guidelines on how to do this, and a little more security, because it is hard with banks and pretty much to do anything. Everyone's like, oh, CBD, you sell CBD? Oh man, I don't know. like it's a drug. So it's changing, but leading up to this, it's been difficult. And when I formed my company, it was so difficult that I was scared and did not put that it was a CBD business like nearly anywhere, because everyone else that was doing that was getting shut down, and it was making them hard to have a website or to do anything. So I just kind of scraped by under the radar, and now it's so different. If you don't have CBD in your name, it's crazy. So it's been a roller coaster, but it's been cool. It's been a lot of learning, and I've picked up a lot of cool trades. So I've been happy and I've been fulfilled. So yeah, I'd say for another obstacle, though, just in general, owning a business has been balancing time. That is definitely something I struggle with. I don't want to call myself a workaholic, but you definitely find yourself, whether you want to be or not, as a workaholic, because there is just so many things to get done all the time. It's definitely hard to balance, your time between working and your personal time, especially when this is a topic that everybody wants to talk about. So whenever I go somewhere, I find myself always having to pitch what CBD is and what products to use and how to use it. So, it's really 95% of the time, you find yourself talking about this subject or working, but it's crazy how it doesn't feel like work, because when you have a job that you go to for 8 hours, not everybody is unhappy, but a lot of people, it does feel like work. And it's not that you're unhappy doing your job, because, you're still there doing it and it's paying your bills, but time goes by a lot slower. And I can't believe how fast 3 years has flown and how far it's come. And yeah, it's just something that I'm just so passionate in, that it never feels like it just doesn't always feel like I'm at a job, I'm working. So that is probably another big reward. Yeah, it just never feels like work when you're doing something that you enjoy. And I've always loved creating, just all my life, even when I didn't have to create. I always had a craft going on, and I've always enjoyed making things for people. So I just get to basically do that all day. And if I want to try to make something else, if I get a great idea, or if I think it's a great idea, I get to try it, and I get to see it through. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, oh well, I tried. So those are probably the biggest hardships. And then that's a reward aside from, what I talked about before, just being able to help people. That is that's a huge reward for me. I probably would not be here still if, I did not get to see the products working for themselves. So that's how I know it works. I get to sit here, make it, watch someone use it, hear how they hear their experience after, and it's always positive. They always have something good to say. So it's definitely rewarding to get to be a part of that. So for do's and don'ts, if I had some do's and don'ts in this episode, I would say do chase your dream. If you have a passion in something that, you're on the fence about going for, I would say go for it. You never know until you try. And failing is always an option. I don't care what those memes say, that failure is not an option. Failure is great. It's always an option. The faster you fail, the faster you get to a reward, because you're going to learn. Don't fail and walk away and just pout and say, it didn't work. Oh, well. Think it out. Do everything that you have to do to see it through. And, if then it still doesn't work, then, you did your part, and you owe that to yourself. So it's important to invest in yourself. So do that. Do invest in yourself if you're able to. I know not everybody can. We all have our obstacles. So if you can, do invest in yourself. Always do your research first, and, don't just jump into it without at least knowing a little bit about what you're getting into. And don't be discouraged if it doesn't go exactly as it's planned. Because I think that happens a lot. You have a vision, and once you start seeing it through, it just kind of guides you in a different direction, and you end up doing things that weren't part of your vision in the beginning, and that's okay. That's the point of trying new things and getting your feet wet. And lastly, just don't give up. Never, ever give up. Don't do that. Always keep going, and just always see the light. You always have options. So if there's anything you want to do, just all I can say from experience is just do it. I did not know what was going to happen to me. I knew there was potential. I knew I could do it. I didn't know if I could, but I knew I could, and I just kept going. I woke up every day and made a plan, made a list, did it. Not every day is perfect. I had some down times. I had some times where I wasn't sure if it was going to work or if this is what I was supposed to be doing. But the universe, it just finds a way to send you signs, and pay attention to those because they mean something. And when those signs happen and you notice them, let that be a reminder. God is telling you, you're on that right path. Here's the signal. So keep going. So yeah. So that's me. That's that CBD girl. If you have a story about CBD, if CBD has affected your life at all, like I've said at the end of every podcast, email me at thatcbdgirlpodcast@gmail.com. I love reading it, and even if you want to stay anonymous, I'd love to share. And it's important to share because that's how people learn, and this is something that we're all kind of relying on each other, since there's not a lot of formal research out there yet. So yeah, write to me, tell me how you are, and this is who I am. This is my journey. So thanks for listening, guys. Remember, take your CBD.